Turns out we got some big updates from Apple and PlayStation this week. Sony just announced that they're releasing their PlayStation 5 Pro. At the beginning of their announcement, they're explaining about all the things that the PlayStation 5 could do, about how good its processor was, how good its graphics card was, and all the rest of it. But the PlayStation 5 Pro is supposed to be about 45 times more powerful than the PlayStation 5. But where is this power going? So usually on the PlayStation 5, they have to choose either between the gameplay or the graphics on it. So let's actually go into in depth to what they actually mean by this. So with gameplay, what they do is they put it up to 60 frames per second so it gives you less lag, or at least that's during the gameplay anyway. But how they do that is that they take away all the graphics rendering from the background so it doesn't look as pretty as it could do. But if you put it on the graphics setting, it puts it to 30 frames per second, but has a better background. So again, they put the rendering back up so everything in the world looks more pretty, but you do incur more lag on it, and also the response time will be lowered a little bit. This is where the PS5 Pro is actually the good mix between the two, because it gives you the 60 frames per second that you'll get with less lag, but also it gives you the beautiful background and it renders a lot more by upping the processing power of the GPU, the SSD and all the other components on the inside. And I love this update. I'm glad that they're bringing out the PlayStation 5 Pro, but at the same time I think it's a little bit too soon. But they bring out the PS5 in 2020, so it's been enough time that they need to have a new updated console. But this is the issue, is the fact that the console come out in 2020. As most of you are well aware, in 2020 we had COVID going on. So when the PlayStation 5 first came out, a lot of us actually couldn't get it for a year or two. Obviously the knock-on effect of that is that most people around the world have only been able to use and buy the PS5 in the last couple of years. What you're on about? Everyone was able to get a PS5 back in the day, we just had to wait for them to be pre-owned. Yes, and the pre-owned version back then was also worth about twice the price of the actual PS5 because no one could get hold of it. So this is my issue. I actually think they bring out the PlayStation 5 Pro a bit too early. I personally think they should have waited another year for GTA 6 to come out and did a big bundle at the same time, because then you're showing off the capability of GTA 6 on this new console, and then it just skyrockets both their sales. Because let's be honest, who's not going to get GTA 6? And a lot of you are thinking, yeah, they're probably just getting people ready for the update and everything, so when GTA 6 comes out, they'll have to buy a console at the same time. But I just personally think it'd probably help the sales, because usually when you have a new console with a high-end game that's coming out, they usually both do quite well. But this also doesn't take away from all the games that it's enhancing on its release. Just off the top of my head, I can think of Ratchet & Clank, Hogwarts Legacy, Final Fantasy Rebirth and a load of other games that are going to be enhanced on its release. And obviously some of them are slightly older games as well, so it's actually bringing back to life some of the games that we did play back in the past, and we can replay again with such better quality. This is where it's going to get a little bit controversial. We also saw at the beginning of this week the release of the iPhone 16 and the 16 Pro. They've done quite a lot of updates on the base model this year as well. So they put on the new action button, they've given it the new capture button that's going to be on all iPhones this year, they've given it the upgraded camera, and it's also got a better chip in it. And on the Pro this year, they've given it the new capture button, they've given it the better camera, the better processor and the better chip. And this is where my issue with Apple comes from this year, because their big thing is that AI is going to be going onto their phones. But it's not being released with the phones. We only have to wait a couple of months for the update though, and then it'll be on the phones. And I get that, it is only probably going to be a short wait, but when you compare it to people like Samsung, who their new flagship phone is coming out with their AI technology on it, I mean there's a little bit of a difference. Especially when you take into consideration that the iPhone 15 Pro Max is an amazing phone on its own, and it will probably still have the capability of having the AI on the update and still work smoothly. What makes you think? What's the point of upgrading straight away if you've got a 15 Pro or Pro Max? There's not really any benefits to begin with. And I get it, Apple release their phone every single September, but when their big marketing this year is a new AI feature and it doesn't come with the phone on release, that's when I think to myself, is there any point of upgrading straight away when I can just wait a couple of months and then get everything on it? And also if they have any bugs, let the bugs come sorted out. The reason I say this is because I've got the 15 Pro Max and that phone is amazing. Realistically, when the update comes out with AI, the phone's going to have it capable on it, so is there any point of updating it straight away? Because I know that I've still got an amazing phone when it comes out. Especially when you look at people like Samsung, who their 24 Ultra comes with AI already on it, as well as the rest of the range of phones, comes standard on day of release. What makes me think they're actually trying to sell their base model more this year. I'm actually quite happy about, because let's be honest, most people who buy Apple have actually got the standard base model. And don't get me wrong, I know it's controversial, and please set the record straight in the comment section, because it also helps the channel. But at the same time, maybe just have a think about, do you need to upgrade your phone straight away when this new one comes out? And I know, big elephant in the room, you're supposed to be doing your whole fitness thing at the moment. But guess what? I'm still a nerd. I love this stuff. And I'm going to give you guys the information that I find out when it comes out as well, because I genuinely am interested in this stuff. So please, if you want to support the channel, please subscribe, and also you can get me on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter as well, and I'll put all the links in the bio. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.